Hey there everyone, and welcome to the finals of the Southeast Asia Legend Series 15, casted by myself, Spellriver, hosted by ESL. Apologies for the delays right there. Seems like Twitch was having some issues right there, and pretty sure we're going to have some bugs happening because BlackLouis is playing Druid, but he is in the final, so he might as well play whatever he wants. Neilyo, on the other hand, is playing Warrior, so this is Conquest mode, as explained, so if you win with a class, you're not allowed to play it. Neilyo having Warlock, Warrior, and Hunter available for himself. BlackLouis, Hunter, Warlock, and Druid. So we're going to see how this one is going to turn out. Swipe going to come across, going to give an unstable ghoul over to Neilyo, who is playing the standard Grim Patron version of his deck, I feel. Deathbite going to be equipped as well for the 4 damage, and BlackLouis still has double Innervate available, so like props to him for playing it out like relatively slow and still not being like completely far behind, being on relatively equal footing. Harrison Jones is looking like a pretty attractive option right now, considering that Neilyo is the unstable was kind of giving away what kind of build he's playing. And if he's taking away that, Deathbite, that does take away an enabler of the Grim Patron combo. There does get to draw an Emperor Forest for his trouble as well, so that's pretty good as well. Goes for Innervate Shapeshift, so wasting one of his Innervate just to get rid of that unstable ghoul. So the Inner Rage, whenever minion take damage, gain +1 attack, and looks like Neilyo is gonna go for a slam play here. Probably not gonna go for Inner Rage. He wants to leave that up for as long as possible. Now, BlackLouis, looking at his hand, 7 mana, Sylvanas Windrunner seems to be the choice for him. And looks like Neilyo is going to trade off the Sylvanas with his Frothing Berserker. Of course, he could just ignore it and just continue on attacking, but if he does so, BlackLouis is going to drop the Sludge Belcher for his turn, and it's going to give BlackLouis a little bit more board pressure. So Unstable Ghoul is going to be the card of choice as Neilyo forges his armor. And oh boy, Keeper of the Grove. I'm begging, please don't bug if you play BlackLouis. Come on, don't be that guy. Don't be that guy that makes me restart spec mode. BlackLouis taking his time, is going for Dr. Boom here for the aggressive play. Can still innervate for something, but decides to skip out on it. Another Frothing Berserker. So Neilyo can actually do something interesting with Whirlwind in tandem with the Frothing Berserker, but it's probably not going to do that one, as he is kind of risking the Frothing Berserker dying, but is going to execute and leave the Frothing Berserker as the only minion left standing. And now back to BlackLouis, who still has that Emperor Forest in his hand that he is just not playing. And I feel that this might be a good time for Sludge Belcher, coin Piloted Shredder. But, oh, actually, it's going for the Innervate Thorison play. So playing it fairly, not defensive, but like more control-wise, I guess. Sludge Belcher at 4 mana cost, and Keeper at 3 is nothing to scoff at. And Neilyo does have a Warsong Commander in his hand, that's not really gonna help. Inner Rage Execute being used to get rid of that Thorson, but Neilyo is kind of being a little bit desperate right now. BlackLouis now drawing into a Druid of Ziclaw. And is gonna go for cat form. So is gonna go not for the aggressive play, but just wants to get rid of the Throttling Berserker. And unless Neilyo actually top decks into something useful right now, like I would definitely call this game. Draws into his own Emperor Thorson, but is just gonna surrender, and that is gonna be BlackLouis winning game 1 of this best of 5.
Versus Gul'dan.
Your soul shall be mine. Let the hunt begin.
Hey there everyone, welcome back. This is game 2 between Neilyo and BlackLouis. BlackLouis having won his first game with Druid, so is not allowed to play Druid anymore. Decided to switch it up to Warlock, and looking at it, he's playing Handlock, I guess. Neilyo playing the standard Zoo version of his build, I feel. So now it all kind of depends how it is all gonna turn out. I would give the small advantage to BlackLouis, though. If he doesn't manage to get those big taunters on the field, Neilyo is going to have a hard time getting over them unless he has the Ironbeak Owl. Worgen Infiltrator being dropped. And I feel like at this point BlackLouis is either going to go for the Ancient Watcher or tap again. Like if he taps again, he can make a pretty strong Azure Drake for the next, or not Azure Drake, Twilight Drake for the next turn. But then again, Neilyo does have an Ironbeak Owl in his hand, so is gonna go for Ancient Watcher. Neilyo drawing into an Eagle Horn Bow, and Neilyo just full on aggression here as he's hovering over that Animal Companion. But is going to go for the bow instead. Knows that he doesn't have any secrets in hand to help that out. It's actually going to reveal both his Worgen Infiltrators, dropping BlackLouis down to 17. And this is the point where BlackLouis might do well with playing double Sun Fury Protector. Because if he does play double Sun Fury Protector, then that means that there are 2 minions that Neilyo has to go through instead of just the one silenced one. So did not go for double Sun Fury, but instead went for Ironbeak Sun Fury. Now up to Neilyo how to get through this. He's gonna go for Animal Companion first. Gets himself a Leok, so he was probably hoping for a Huffer, I feel. And now it's the question how he's gonna charge through this field. So Neilyo wiping out the board as much as possible, still leaving that 1 Sun for your Protector up. That might come to bite him back, as BlackLouis has a second one. So it looks like just the Twilight Drake is gonna be the card played. Neilyo with a kill command, so he can start hammering away. He probably doesn't even care too much about an extra mana crystal that BlackLouis is getting, as long as he doesn't gain any health regeneration or anything like that. No, pulls himself a Hellfire, so it looks like Neilyo is going to equal the scores up 1-1. Unless Neilyo literally does not know how his cards interact with each other. Dark Bomb being dropped, Defender of Argus, but it all does not matter one single bit. Not even the card that Neilyo draws matters. Ironbeak Owl and Kill Command for a game is going to equal up the score 1-1.
Versus Gul'dan.
Your soul shall be mine! For Cosmodan!
Hey there, welcome back everyone to Game 3 between Neilyo and BlackLouis. Neilyo now playing Warrior and BlackLouis playing Warlock. So let's see how this is going to turn out. Neilyo getting a clutch victory with Hunter, so is not allowed to play this one anymore. So Neilyo now playing his Warrior and still has the Warlock left for himself. BlackLouis, if he wins this one, he will only have his Hunter left. So looking for an exciting one. Neilyo with an early Arborsmith out on the field. Also has an Acolyte of Pain out. So can start racking up advantage very, very soon, unless BlackLouis decides to go for a Hellfire play here. BlackLouis dropping the Dark Bomb. Shield block being given. And now Neilyo has to worry about that one. BlackLouis has the ability to taunt it up for the next turn. So Coin Sledge Belcher going to be the response from Neilyo, making his own taunted board.
Forgot the beast.
BlackLouis with an early big game hunter. Neilyo shooting that down with excuse me, BlackLouis with an early giant. Neilyo sniping it down with the big game hunter. Neilyo still at the advantage here, and the closer it gets to turn 9, the closer it gets to the Yzera play.
I wonder.
Big Owl to use on his own Ancient Watcher to silence it. Very smart play actually from BlackLouis, setting up the defensive board while allowing himself to attack. Does get a slime for his trouble. Now I wouldn't be too surprised to see Neilyo equipping that Fiery War Axe to try and clear out the field a little bit, or he could just use his big game hunter since it is a 4-2. Not clearing field completely. His own Armor Smith still standing, but still sitting at a whopping 37 health, doing great for himself. Looks like Neilyo is well on his way on a victory, unless BlackLouis is going to stall him out a little bit. No more big game hunter available for Neilyo, unless he top decks into another one. No! Emperor Forasan is the card of choice. And I feel that attacking might be a good choice here. Like, you still take the damage, but you're fairly healthy still, so that one is gonna trigger 1 damage for revenge. And then Neilyo finishing it off with the Death Bite and 1 damage inflicted onto everything. So very long, very well played by Neilyo. Still after this long game, I have to be impressed at the plays he's making, clearing out the board. BlackLouis with his own Emperor Forasan. Neilyo probably to respond with his own at this point. And now it's kind of a chicken race, I feel. Whoever drops their Forasan first. Of course, Sylvanas Windrunner is still on the table. And there's one sneaky way that, or sneaky thing that BlackLouis can do. BlackLouis can actually summon his own Sylvanas. And let's see if I'm right with this. So one thing that he can do is play Sylvanas, Dark Bomb his own Sylvanas, then play Hellfire, and he'll have double Forasan on the field. And that's actually something that he can do, and that would drastically decrease the cost of all the cards in his hand, and essentially make them free.
Almost out of time.
Time is running out though. And BlackLouis is hovering over the Hellfire, whether he wants to use it yes or no. It looks like he's going to use the Emperor Forasan. Not to his benefit. Is going to do Hellfire, Dark Bomb, and leave his Sylvanas Windrunner up. Now back to Neilyo, who's just going to use Death Bite, Shield Block, and then probably drop the Acolyte of Pain as well, depending on what he draws. Draws even more weapons for himself. Another Iron Beak Allen. I feel that Neilyo can just keep wailing away onto BlackLouis. despite a Sludge Belcher now standing in his way. And I feel that Izera might be good at this point. Attacking would still ensure that you do get rid of the Sludge Belcher, but does not do that. Looks like he did get a dream for himself, so return a minion to its owner hand. So next turn can do a lot of damage if he manages to get rid of that Sludge Belcher. Let me take a quick look how much damage that is. In fact, it's going to be 10, 14, 15, 16 damage, but why Zera or Izera being stolen away? And giving a dream card over to BlackLouis. That is the Emerald Drake. And now Neilyo is figuring out how to play this one. So Brawl, excellent choice by him. So if Sylvanas actually does die, it takes over whatever is remaining. So let's see what's getting knocked out. Zera remains, but it might get stolen away. It does get stolen away by the slime and gives another dream card over to Neilyo. Another dream placed on the field. 17 health still remaining for BlackLouis. BlackLouis can still play this one out properly though. If he plays that anti-heal bot, he'll live for another turn. Goes for Twilight Drake and Emerald Drake instead. And I think that might just be game if I calculate this correctly. Yeah, that is game. Neilyo using the dream onto the slime. Grommash Hellscream being summoned. Deathbite effect will trigger onto the Grommash Hellscream, turning it into a 10-8. Wise Izera will also be able to attack, and that is game. Neilyo with a 2-1 lead in this best of 5.
Let the hunt begin. Your soul shall be mine.
Welcome back everyone. Game 4 between Neilyo and BlackLouis. Match point for Neilyo. If he wins this one, he wins the entire shebang. If BlackLouis wins this one, then we are going to Game 5, ladies and gentlemen. So let's take a quick look at the board here. And oh my word, is that Leroy Jenkins? I see BlackLouis is going all out aggressive here. Neilyo, with the first turn, can't really do too much.
I smell blood.
Or actually, it was BlackLouis with the first turn, or Neilyo with the first turn, but BlackLouis with the first move. Neilyo simply tapping, not really able to do much else. Abusive Sergeant gonna come across as well to buff up his minion, his Worgen Infiltrator, is going to reveal that one as well. BlackLouis with a fairly full field here. Neilyo scrounging to get cards. Looks like BlackLouis might just make this a 2-2 if he keeps going like this. Sacrifices one of his abusive sergeants to get rid of that Imp Gang boss. Goes for the full-on aggression here, but Neilyo does have a Molten Giant in his hand here. Twilight Drake being dropped just as a little bit of a deterrent, if anything. Unleash the Hounds now being drawn by BlackLouis. Neilyo only sitting at 13 health, needs to pull something out of his hat right now, so goes for some Fear Protector play, and this is going to be a field that's hard to overcome for BlackLouis. Needs to sacrifice a lot of resources to do so, resources that he might not have. Quick Shot now being drawn. And BlackLouis, considering his options here, it's really hard for him to overcome a 4-5 and an 8-8 with the cards he has on the field right now. He's thinking about it. Do I sacrifice my Leroy Jenkins for this? Because it would clear the field. Time does move quickly, and at one point time is running out. So Kill Command being used, the victory card for BlackLouis to get rid of that Molten Giant health. Even more cards being extended after Steady Shot. Explosive Trap being put in his lap there. Secret is going to trigger Explosive Trap for 2 damage, and it's at this point where Neilyo might have to play the anti-heal by BlackLouis. So close to victory. He can taste it, only 9 health away from forcing it to game 5, but it is also hard with the cards on the field right now. BlackLouis taking his time. The only way I see him overcoming this really is by using Quick Shot, Arcane Golem, and his Spider to get rid of both Taunters. Or is apparently going to go for Unleash the Hounds. Really wants to save up on that Leroy Jenkins. Really sacrificing everything he has right now, and it's at this point where Neilyo has to heal up. He has no other choice unless he goes for a Defender of Argus play here with the Void Caller, since he has been allowed to do that. Actually does go for the life tap, so risky, but now drops the anti-heal bot back from the junk keep and healthy at 15. Passes over, turn to BlackLouis, who draws into another Arcane Golem. Quick Shot not going to help out too much at this point. BlackLouis again taking his time. He wants to draw with that Quick Shot. I know he does. And all he has to do is survive a couple of turns. And he'll be able to come back. All he has to do is drop Neilyo to 6 health and then suddenly burst out with Leroy Jenkins. But how is he going to do that? Will he have enough time to do so?
Quickly.
Quick shot used for the first hit. Arcane Golem now coming across as well. It seems like BlackLouis is just merely hoping that Neilyo doesn't have anything. Neilyo going to face a little bit of damage here. Dark Bomb coming in just the right time. Now Neilyo can bring out an Imp Gang boss defender play and use the Dark Bomb to take care of that Arcane Giant. Or Arcane Golem, excuse me. Dark Bomb coming across. 9 health remaining. Leper Gnome isn't going to be enough. Leper Gnome played. Steady shot used. 7 health remaining for Neilyo. BlackLouis now probably going to face off against the Dr. Boom. Or if Neilyo really wants to put the nail in the coffin, a low Feb. Neilyo just going to go on the aggressive. Knows he has one next turn. Unless BlackLouis manages to pull Exodia at this point. Draws a card. It is the Ironbeak Owl. That is not going to be enough at all to continue. And BlackLouis is looking at his cards and thinking, is there one way I can do 7 damage? But looking at it, I don't really see any possible way.
Well played.
The well play comes out. BlackLouis conceding. Neilyo will win the finals with a 3-1 score. So congratulations to Neilyo, the winner of the cup.